Welcome back to A Closer Look. I'm your host, Linda Fontaine. Today, my special guest is Andy True with the Kingsport City School System. He is the Assistant Superintendent. Again, thank you for being here.
Absolutely.
We just finished up talking about the Hall of Fame nominations that are coming up, and we talked about the school and the architecture at DB. Now let's talk a little bit about something you had mentioned to me before called the Community Project, the Portrait of a Graduate.
This is a really, I think, going to be an exciting thing for our students and our community. You know, we think about the way that school systems are measured, and for the most part, that is state-level assessments that are given to students. You know, we're right now starting our, kind of our season of testing in public schools all across Tennessee, and in many ways, that forms kind of that snapshot of a school and really at its core what a student has achieved. I think we realize that a test given at one time in a year is probably not the best way to fully represent what a student can do and what they can accomplish, nor do I think that it really represents what our community always fully values when it comes to what they expect out of us as a school system. So we're embarking on a project, it's called Portrait of a Graduate, and really what it is the identification of the experiences, the skills, the abilities that our students should have when they leave us, when they graduate from high school. So it's really, it forms kind of a 12-year pathway when we think about, okay, what should a student have? What does our community think our students should have kind of in their toolbox and the experiences they should have when they graduate from high school? So we're on the front end of that project now. We've had a couple of community meetings where we kind of take educators, but also parents and community members and students, and we kind of work through some processes to say, okay, what are the skills, what are the mindsets that need to be instilled in our students, whether it's, tenacity, problem solving, all of those kind of things. And then once right now we're formulating what those skill sets are. Once that kind of is established, that will allow us then to kind of back plan and say, okay, what will we do to get them there over the course of their career as students here in Kingsport? So I think it's a really neat way for us to, as a local community, decide what is important for us as Kingsport citizens. What do we want Kingsport graduates to have as far as their skills and their experience? And then that allows us as a district to build those kinds of structures to provide those kind of experiences and those skills, so that that gives us a good measuring stick to know, are we meeting the needs of our community in addition to some of those other measures that are already in place when it comes to the academics and the other achievements that our students need to be able to have.
Times are always changing. Our needs as a community are always changing, and I love it that you guys are constantly trying to keep up, or not even keep up, go beyond.
Right.
Think ahead. What is it we need to do to make our students even brighter than ever before, and to keep up with the changing global economy and everything else?
I think that's one of the exciting parts about being a resident of Kingsport and also involved in the school system is that our community has high expectations of us. Our citizens have high expectations.
Good.
They show that in the way they support our programs. They show that in the way, whether it's physically being involved by, being city residents and paying city taxes, that allows kind of an additional layer of resources for us. We own that accountability. We know that expectation is there. And we know we need to also continue to keep evolving forward so that we're providing that exceptional level of experience for our families and our students, and also the role that we play as in kind of that more global general what Kingsport expects when it comes to marketing our community, being an economic driver for our community. We play a key role in that. We're one of the larger employers in Kingsport. Obviously we touch over 7,000 students every day when it comes to the way we support and help them grow to be better citizens and be a better workforce and be a better community member. Those are responsibilities we take seriously. So we're always looking at what we can do to not only involve the community in what those conversations sound like and look like, but also how can we meet that community need, knowing that we are a key player in that whole process.
I love it. And speaking of keeping the community involved, the Board of Education elections are coming up. And you were saying there's a forum that you'd like people to attend.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
The Mayor's Youth Council, which in a large way involves city government, our chamber, our students at Dobbins-Bennett, DBXL. They're having a forum on next Thursday, Thursday evening at 4 o'clock at Robinson Middle School. That really is an opportunity for our Board of Education candidates to help make sure the community knows what they believe and kind of what their thoughts are on education. It will be structured and run in a lot of ways by that youth council, so it's exciting to see our students get involved in the political process. We do have 3 spots on our Board of Education up for election coming up in May. So to be able to have a forum for those 5 candidates to stake kind of their position on why they feel like they should be the individuals to fill those spots, I think is a great thing for our community to be able to get that experience and get that exposure to the candidates. But also it's a great learning experience for our students about what civic responsibility is, what being a part of that election process really is. For them to have really a hands-on way to kind of help drive that conversation.
I think that would be really important for kids, for students to show up for that.
Exactly. We're inviting students. All of our community is invited to that. Again, it's at the Robinson Middle School Auditorium.
Robinson, 4 o'clock, the 25th.
Correct.
Thursday night, the 25th, 4 o'clock, Robinson. So come one, come all.
Absolutely. We do invite our community to come be a part of that.
Yeah, it's very important because we're going to be the ones voting on who's going to be leading our Board of Education.
The great thing is I think we've got a really strong slate of candidates when you look at the individuals that are running for our board that truly have the best interest of Kingsport and of Kingsport City Schools at heart. It's very encouraging to see such a strong candidate pool this year wanting to step forward and take a leadership role. So we're excited about what the result of the election will bring, whatever that may be, because we have such strong quality candidates that are running this year.
Great. So anything else we need to know about what's going on with Kingsport City Schools?
We're in that time of year now where, spring break is kind of in the rearview mirror, and we're in that stretch now between now and the end of the year. Graduation day at Dobyns-Bennett is really the Saturday of Memorial Day weekend. So in just a few weeks, it's pedal to the floor when it comes to all the year-end things. Whether
it's crazy. May is nuts. I remember that with my kids.
Exactly.
It's as busy as Christmas time. It's trying to get everything done.
We've started our assessments, again, our state level assessments. End of course exams are right around the corner. This is the year where you're full with programs and field trips, both our middle schools with their, trips to Washington, D.C. that they take every year, getting ready for graduation. Obviously, you've got high school students that are thinking about the exams that they take at the end of the semester, and you've got ones that are making final decisions about colleges. So this is that time of year where we're all just kind of hanging on tight because so much is happening, but it's really exciting because you're getting to the end of that yearly process where all that hard work is paying off. And you're seeing kind of that next step for a lot of folks.
It's also a time when kids are checking out. Seniors, I remember senioritis. I remember my kids going, okay, they were just getting itchy, just so excited.
Exactly.
There's just that little energy in the air where they're like, okay, we just want to get done. We want to get out. We want to move on. We're excited. So they're busy just checking off their list of things they have to do.
And as educators, it's exciting too because you see that excitement in the students. That's why we're here. We're here to help them achieve and excel. So to be able to be a part of that process and help them kind of hit that finish line for this year is exciting. Again, graduation will be here before we know it. You breathe for a few minutes and then you roll into planning for next year. So
that's exactly right. No rest for the weary.
Exactly.
So let's go over one more time the Hall of Fame nomination information.
Yes.
Because we want as many people as possible to nominate so we can get a really good slate here, and like you said, they pass on to the next year.
They do.
And we love to have these stories. I'm sure you guys love reading the stories that show why these teachers are nominated.
When you look at those candidates that have been inducted and you see a broad range, we have school administrators, you have teachers, you have support staff. We had a custodian that was inducted last year. To be able to tell that broad scope of stories, we just really want our community to step forward during this time every year and say, this individual really impacted me or my children. And it's important that their story is told and their legacy is preserved. So to bring those forward between now and May 1st is really a time where we're just trying to help make sure that folks know that this is the time, and to go on our website at k12k.com and do that and provide some letters of support. So when we get together as a community group this summer, we have the best possible slate of candidates to consider. We now have a physical space in our administrative support center where we can physically honor those individuals and want to really do what we can to add to that year over year. So it's exciting. It's a big task. It's one that our committee takes seriously. Good. I'm honored to be, I'm not involved in the decision making, but I kind of help guide the process. And every year it's been really a humbling experience for me to see the level of candidates that have been brought forward and to see the discussions that go on and the considerations that take place in that, not only that committee room, but just the culture of that storytelling that goes on to really remind us where we've been. And I work on that third floor where that Hall of Fame wall that we constructed is, and to walk by there every day and see those individuals and to kind of, it sounds odd, but kind of feel their presence and their impact on our community. It's humbling and it's inspiring because you want to strive to impact students in that same way.
K12k.com to nominate a teacher, or it doesn't have to be a teacher.
Exactly.
Anybody in the support system of the schools, bus drivers, custodial workers,
yes.
Cafeteria, school crossing guard, anybody who's impacted in a positive way. You're taking nominations until May 1st.
Correct.
So get online, check it out, and let's get some great nominations so that you guys have a hard time picking the right people.
The harder the better, absolutely.
And it passes on to the next year.
Exactly.
Andy, thank you so much for once again being on this show. You're always a delight, and it's great learning about what's going on with our Kingsport City School
Appreciate
system.
the opportunity to be here.
And we'll be back next week, same time, same place, with another edition of A Closer Look.